Okay.
Great.
Oh, great pictures.
Pappe sitzt sich auf sein Stil, oi Schabes luchen Kind. A Rimmen sitzt mit sie den Film, oi Schabes luchen Kind. Zeigt sie Nissen, fin Mossen in fin Schnitzen. Die Schinnerie, der Pappe flieht, sie Gott Burchi auf Fliegel. In alle Jiden Himmel, sie machen a Raschat Himmel. Es fehlt sich dort auf jeden Ort, der Schabes luchen Kegel. Oi Schabes luchen Kegel, oi ist das Siedel Freile. Oi Schabes luchen Kegel, fehlt sich wie am Meile. Esst sich von mit Schon, trinkt euch Wein a Kriegel. Der jeder fehlt sich Freile, oi Schabes luchen Kegel. A ganze Woche war der Mann auf Schabes luchen Kegel. Zusammen mit sein Weib sein, oi Schabes luchen Kegel. Sie senden beide Miede, für der Schabes dicke Siede. Es ist a rein in Kopf der Wein, winkt sie mit der Nägel. Nur blitzen nicht verkeinem, kimmen sie gas die Schreinem. In es werde bald sie sterben, der Schabes luchen Kegel. Oi Schabes luchen Kegel, oi ist das Jidl Freile. Oi Schabes luchen Kegel, fiedt sich wie am Meile. Esst sich und mit Schuld, trinkt euch Wein a Kriegel. Der jeder fiedt sich Freile, oi Schabes luchen Kegel. Im Mädler flechten Zepperlech, oi Schabes luchen Kegel. Verdrehen's Männer die Käpperlech, oi Schabes luchen Kegel. Mi geht im Wald spazieren, mit schöne Kavalieren. A ganze Woche warte doch auf dem Schabes luchen Kegel. Sie wehren mit sich Schmelkes, mit Heizer dort Karmelkes. Oi Mame Kroin, wir halten schon, bei dem Schabes luchen Kegel. Oi Schabes luchen Kegel, oi ist es Jidl Freile. Oi Schabes luchen Kegel, fehlt sich wie am Meile. Esst sich und mit Schuld, trinkt euch Wein a Kriegel. Der jeder fehlt sich Freile, oi Schabes luchen Kegel.
You're not going to do it today. Okay, guys, since you are all muted, so when I call on you, just unmute yourself, okay? Marsha, can you start reading the English?
Okay. Pesach or Pesach. Burstein was born in Poland in 1896. He ran away from home with a Yiddish vaudeville troupe and was brought to America by Boris Tomaszewski in 1923 for his Broadway show, The Jolly Tailors. He recorded for Columbia Records and often acted and sang on the Yiddish stage with his wife Lillian Lux. They played on 2nd Avenue in the Borscht Belt, South America, Eastern Europe, and Israel. Their twin children often acted and sang with them, and one of them, Michael, made a career of it under the name Mike Burstyn. Pesach often rented theaters to stage plays and musicals, which he sometimes directed himself, and he opened his own theater in Brooklyn, the Hopkinson. The four Burstyns starred in the Megillah of Itzhak Monger, both in Israel and on Broadway. In 1980, he wrote his autobiography in Yiddish with his wife, Gespielt a Leben, translated as What a Life. When he died in 1986, the New York Times wrote his 300 recordings brought him recognition wherever Yiddish was spoken.
Okay, thank you. Janet, will you continue? But unmute yourself since you are all, okay?
Yes, sorry. The song Shabbos Nacken Kugel was in the musical A Kazene in Stettel,
Chassanet.
a wedding in a small
Hasene.
town.
Hasene in Stettel.
Hasene, written by William Siegel and Herman Boll. It starred Pesach and was produced in Detroit for the 1930-31 season. He writes in his autobiography, "It was played by me all over the world until my son Mike inherited my role, Yosela, in 1975. For more about the play, you can go to books.google.com and search for What a Life."
Okay, thank you. Hilda, can you start reading?
Me, you said.
Yes, Hilda.
It's Aida, actually. I have a
No,
problem.
not Aida, Hilda,
Oh,
Hilda.
oh, okay, go.
Unmute yourself, probably. Where is she? Hilda, you are muted.
I'm trying. Yes, sorry.
Okay,
Yeah,
perfect.
entschuldigt.
Okay,
Verloren unheben noch einmal.
yeah.
Der Tate setzt sich auf sein Stiel, auf Schabbos noch ein Kegel. Arim im sitzen 7 sehen, auf Schabbos noch ein Kegel. Ob man so Kegel oder Kugel?
Ja, Kegel.
Kegel ist gut. Er erzählt sein Nissim? Nein.
Ja,
Ja,
Nissen.
Nissim von Muftim und von Stoisim.
Oh, yes.
Ja, Steißen.
Die Schreinim.
No, the Shekhinah.
No, der Shechina, ja. Der Shechina redet. Der Tate flieht zu Gott.
Gott.
Flieht zu Gott. Baruch Hu auf Fliegel. Und alle Jiden im Himmel, sie machen a Reich.
Arash.
Arash. Was ist Arash?
A racket.
Racket. Okay. Machen Arash a Tummel. Es fühlt sich dort auf jeden Ort der Shabbos noch ein Kugel.
Good. Can you translate it?
I'll try.
Okay. Maurice will help you.
Okay. Father sits down on his chair on Shabbos on Shabbos after the kugel. Around him sit 7 sons on Shabbos after the kugel. He tells them of miracles, yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Von Muftim, ich weiß nicht, was ist Muftim.
Wonders.
Wonders.
Wonders. He tells them of wonders and of, I don't know, shtusim either.
It's nonsense.
And nonsense. the spirit, is it the spirit of God?
Yeah, the Shechina, right.
Yes, Shekhinah.
Right, moves. That Father der Tate flies to God. Blessed may he be on his wings. And all the Jews, all the Jews in heaven, they make a noise.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Okay, a tummel, like a, I know what it is, but I can't think of a word in English.
Yeah, Maurice say the racket.
yeah, the
Racket.
Oh,
racket.
yes, the racket,
Tumult,
yes,
the
The
racket.
word in
sorry,
English is
racket.
tumult. The word in English is tumult.
Tumult,
Tumult.
right.
Mhm.
Oh, yes, a tumult. Yes, you're
Yeah.
right. Yes. Es fühlt sich, it feels there like, it feels like a Yiddish place, is that right?
No, of jeden Ort is
Oh, on
everywhere.
jeden Ort, in every place,
Of
everywhere.
jeden Ort,
Yes.
everywhere.
Okay, jeden Ort. It feels that in every place, in every corner, it is Shabbos after the Kiddush.
Right,
Yeah.
not just down here, but up there too.
Yeah.
Okay,
Thank you.
good, good. I
job.
saw, Rafael, that you have a comment. So can you tell
Yeah,
us?
on the fourth line, it's hard to hear on the recording, but my guess is that it's die Shechina Ruth, which you would pronounce Rit. The presence of God is resting, but I'm not sure about that. And while I'm here, I might as well point out this idea of Shabbos Nochen Kugel. Whether you have Kugel or not, Saturday afternoon is called Shabbos Nochen Kugel. So it's just the time of day. Named after a food. It's kind of unusual that way.
Okay.
Well, depending
let's
on the
con-
kind of kugel you have, if you have like a sweet kugel, that would be the end of the meal. If you have a potato kugel, you might eat it, but with the food. But that makes sense, that after the dessert,
Mhm.
the Shabbos after the dessert is when we all rest and hang out.
Okay, Steve, continue reading.
Oh no, okay.
Why not?
Oi, Shabbos Nachen Kegel is do jeden freilich. But jeder Satz oder der ganze Verse?
Einen ganzen.
Ganzen,
Dann,
right. Okay. Oi, Shabbos Nachen Kugel, fühlt sich wie a Melech. Esst Bräut mit Schmalz.
Cholent.
Cholent.
Oh, Cholent, I'm sorry, Cholent. I want Cholent. Und trinkt euch Wein a Kriegel. Der Jid fühlt sich freilich auf Shabbos nach ein Kegel. Shabbos after the Kugel is a Jewish playland, a Jewish happy
it's the
time.
Jew happy.
The Jew is happy. Okay. Shabbos noch ein Kegel. You feel like a king. He eats a bread with chunt and drinks a keg of wine.
A pitcher.
No, a
pitcher of
container of
wine.
wine.
A pitcher.
A little
All right.
container.
Okay.
Crickle is a pitcher? A pitcher?
A little
Pitcher.
pitcher.
The Jew, he feels happy on Shabbos after Kugel.
Good.
Okay,
I want to ask something. if I
yes,
may.
go on.
In the song Belts, I sing, ich lauf mit der Tchine gleich zu sitzen unter dem Knie. I thought Tchine was like a prayer book, but now the way you say it's the spirit of God.
No, that's Shchine.
Shchine with a shin.
This is
Shchine is
Shchine.
Shchine
What am
are
I
the
singing?
women's prayers.
Life mit
Shchine
der
is the
Shchina glach is what? What am I singing?
You're
I never-
singing
There,
Techina, Techina. You're singing Techina. And this is Shechina.
And what's Techina? When I'm singing.
Shechina is a
women's
small
prayers.
feather
Or
that
Shchina
women
is
use
Oh,
to
Seder.
use in the
Okay,
shade.
okay. That's what I thought it was. Okay, thank you.
Okay,
Hashem.
Morty, now you, Morty.
A ganze Woche hogt für der Mann auf Shabbos.
I
noch-
thought you want to ask a question.
Oh, no, I thought I answered.
No,
Sorry.
no, so you can, oh, okay, read. I thought just that you wanted to say something. Read.
Okay. A ganze Woche hogt für der Mann auf Shabbos noch ein Kegel. Zusammen mit sein Weibel sein auf Shabbos noch ein Kegel. Sie sind beide Miede von der Shabbosdicke Siede. Es ist ein in Kopf der Wein, und winkt sie mit einem Eigel. Noch Blitzem, nicht für keinem kommt zu Gast die Schreinen. Und sie wird bald zerstört der Shabbos noch ein Kegel. Nice.
Yeah.
That's what Shabbos is for.
Yes.
A whole week starts for the man after Shabbos, after the kugel, together with his wife, to be together with his wife on Shabbos after the kugel. They are both tired after the meal, the Shabbos meal. The wine went up to their heads, and he winks to his wife with his eyes. However, in the middle of this, may it not happen to anybody. Guests come in. The
Neighbors.
not the guests, the neighbors come in.
Neighbors.
Yeah, and all of a sudden, the Shabbos after the kugel gets messed up.
Get messed up. Nicht für euch gedacht, man sagt.
They
Ja,
Nicht
Nicht
für
für
euch
uns gedacht.
seinen haben nur 7 Sinn in der Heim. Was ist der Unterschied?
Von dem haben sie 7 Sinn. Ja.
Mach
Raphael,
nicht stolz,
yes.
es du zart.
Raphael, please.
Doesn't the word plutzim mean suddenly?
yes,
Suddenly.
yeah,
Them
that's
suddenly.
right.
Suddenly, yeah. Plutzim.
Raphael.
Yeah, that first line, third word, chayved, very unusual word. A chayv is an obligation. So
Yeah.
chayved man is obligated for the man, but it's an unusual verb. And we'll have to listen again. Maybe it's something else. I didn't catch a different.
I thought was
word
a
here.
debt. I always heard my father say, a chayf is a debt.
Oh,
Yes,
Yeah,
but
it's
it's
a
a
debt.
verb here. Here it's
But
being
it
used
can-
as a verb, unusual.
But it can be because of, you know, the mitzvah of Onek Shabbat.
right.
Can I
It
say
can be,
something?
it
No.
can be a verb, but it's unusual to use it as a verb. There's verchayven, to obligate, but chayven itself is a verb I've never seen.
Where is that? I can't find it.
The
The
first line,
first line.
The first line?
First
First line.
line.
a ganze
fourth
Woche.
The third word.
All of it.
Okay, now Morty, Steve, and Rochelle.
Yes,
This order, Morty.
I would like to propose that maybe this is a misprint, and the word instead of hoyt, like hoivis, should be hoyt, begin.
Begins, yeah.
Jean? Hmm.
I
think
don't
too.
think so.
Ah,
Right?
we will have to
But it
listen
makes
again.
sense
We will have to
because-
listen once again.
Because after
Okay.
Shabbos, noch ein Kegel, the week starts.
Starts. Okay, we will listen again, so we will try and see. Okay, Steve and then Rochelle. Steve.
Yeah, I have a question for Raphael. Does the Shekhinah and Shechuns, the neighbor, they share a root? Is there it's just an interesting.
Yes, you're quite right. Shachan is the Hebrew root to dwell, to live in a place. So the Shekhinah is the indwelling presence of God. A Shachan or a Shachantar, a Shekhinah is a neighbor, someone who dwells near you.
Okay.
And in fact, the
I
neighborhood in
thought
modern
it-
Hebrew is also, I think, a Shekhinah.
No, I heard them say the next door again.
That's American.
Das ist geringer zu gedenken.
Okay, Rochelle, you.
When I first read this, I interpreted Harvit, which means to work very, very hard. That's the way it was used.
Right, I thought of that too. I couldn't find Chovt, and I thought because it says, because Fadaman, so it would be that she works hard all week.
Yes.
I thought too, maybe it's Chodovit. I didn't, yeah.
Yeah, that was my initial.
That would make sense, because why is it Fadaman? So.
Oh, well, maybe he's the one who's doing most of the work, or, he's earning the living for the trappings of Shabbos.
I don't know.
But
I don't know.
That was my interpretation.
Yeah, I've never seen that verb either, so.
Okay.
I have a
let's
question.
continue. Yeah, Barbara.
Well, excuse me, but I thought it has more of a sexual connotation.
Me too.
The obligation
It's a mitzvah
on Shabbos.
Yeah, the obligation of Shabbos. Yeah.
I'm not listening.
You're not
Mit sieben Sinn in the Heim?
Yeah.
That's how they got him.
Maurice, you have 2 daughters, so. Okay, let's go on. Alvin, can you read?
Ich bin da. Oi, Shabbos noch ein Kugel ist das Jidl freilich. Oi, Shabbos noch ein Kugel, fühlt sich wie ein Melech. Esst Arbeit mit Trullend und trinkt euch Wein a Kriegel. Der Jid fühlt sich freilich auf Shabbos noch ein Kugel. Oi, Shabbos, after Kugel, a Jew is happy. Oi, Shabbos after Kugel, he feels like a king. He eats bread with his trulant and drinks up wine from the pitcher. The Jew. He feels freilich. He feels happy on Shabbos after the kugel.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Arlene, you are with us, Arlene?
Yeah, can do.
Okay, please read.
Okay, the Medela, Flechten, Zeppelach auf Shabbos noch in Kugel. So the girls something braids.
They braid their braids.
Plait.
They braid their braids.
Like plate.
Okay, they braid their hair. They make braids for Shabbos after the Kugel. Verdrehen uns verdrehen. Oh, okay. Verdrehen uns Männer the Keppelach of Shabbos noch in Kugel. So they spin around the men, something, the heads for Shabbos after the Kugel.
They make them crazy.
Okay, they verdrehen dan Keppelach. Okay,
They're flirting.
Verdrehen die Keppelach. They make them crazy.
Me geht in Wald spazieren mit schöne Kavallerin.
Kavalieren.
Kavalieren.
Kavalieren. So they go in the forest and they take a walk or they spazier around with lovely or with nice. Well, what is kaval? What's his
Single men. Single men.
With what?
Single men.
Oh, single men. Okay.
Cavalier.
The ganze Woche.
Oh, like cavaliers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like the
Oh,
word
okay.
cavaliers.
Oh, nice. Okay. Die ganze Woche wartet man doch auf dem Shabbos noch in Kugel. So a whole week they wait, or one waits for the for what is it? Doch? What's this doch?
Maurice, she wants to know what is
It's like,
dochir.
they do wait for the,
Okay, they do wait for Shabbos after the Kugel. Sei werden mit sei Schmelkes und mit hält sich dort
Melkes.
They wären so mit Schmelkes, I don't know.
they get very close to them.
Oh, okay, and they I don't know that next one. They
And they
share.
share caramels, caramels, sweets.
Oh, caramels. Okay. Oi, Mame Coin.
Coin, Mama coin.
What is it?
Coin.
Like
Coin.
the crown on your head. Your mother said the crown on your head.
Okay. Wie holt man schon bei der Shabbos noch in Kugel? Oi, Mama Crown?
No, it's an endearment. It's an endearment term. Mame Kroin is an endearment.
Okay, so dear Mama, something like that?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Minna, could Maurice say it one more time all together?
Yes.
It got so
Okay,
confused.
Arlene will finish and Maurice will say it again, okay?
Okay, so, oi, dear Mama, wie halt man schon bei der Shabbos nach in Kugel? So, halt means, I hope vergessen, what's this halt? Halt man?
Observe.
We are
like,
near.
that's how
We
they
are
keep it.
close.
Okay.
We're at.
Okay, we're already so close to the Shabbos after the Kugel. And before we go on, I just want to say, about Mike Burstein, I do happen to live in Los Angeles now, where Mike Burstein lives. And two things. One, he's very involved in the community here with the Israeli community. For example, for the like the tekes, the ceremony for the fallen Israeli soldiers. He very often serves as in other community events. He very often serves as the MC of those kinds of events, and he sometimes sings. The other thing is also because he also happens to live in the San Fernando Valley part of LA where I live. I've run into him, not so much now with the pandemic, but before that, just like, for example, I remember when I was going to see Gal Gadot in Wonder Woman. There he was with his wife, waiting for the show. So he's very involved in the community here. That's all I wanted to mention.
Okay, thank you. So Maurice will read and translate it again, and then I have two questions here. So first Maurice and then the questions, okay?
Yeah. Die Meidlich flechten Zeppelech auf Shabbos noch in Kegel. Verdreinens Männer die Keppelech auf Shabbos noch in Kegel. Wir gehen in Wald spazieren mit scheine Kavalieren. Die ganze Woche warten doch auf dem Shabbos noch in Kegel. Sie wären mit sei Schmelkes und mir teilt sich dort Karmelkes. Oi, Mama Coin, wie halten schon by the Shabbos noch in Kegel? Okay, what's your question?
Okay, no, I see that Rafael wants to say
Can you
something, and
translate
then
it
Brenda.
again?
Okay, Rafael.
Yeah, 2 points. One is that word schmelkes. a schmelke is a best friend, like a ganze schmelke. And so they become best friends with them. That's how the schmelke fits in. But I've got a question about line 2. What is the subject of verdrehen? It could either be die Mädlich from the previous line, and then uns Männer becomes the direct object. And verdrehen, a cup, means to confuse. So they confuse us men, talking to the
Yes,
woman,
I agree.
or that the Männer is the subject, and the men confuse us. Now, I don't really know how to understand that.
I like the idea of.
I think it's the girls with their braids confused. They turn our heads. They drive us crazy. Verdrehen uns Männer. That's what I think.
So uns Männer you're putting together. It's certainly
It's
possible.
Yeah, that's how I read it.
Okay.
And what's Carmelis? Caramels.
Candies, caramels. Caramel, it's karamelke. It's probably a Polish word.
Okay.
So what is it, a candy?
Du kannst
Candy.
geben Karamelke to the
Candy,
next door.
yeah.
Maurice, in
Yeah.
Spanish, caramel is caramelo.
Okay,
Candy.
there you go.
A
Yeah.
candy.
Sure.
I just wanted to say the word about choif, because I heard that my father lent a man money, and when the man died, he refused to pay the money back. He went into bankruptcy, and in the Orthodox religion, you can't go into bankruptcy. You have to pay your debt back. So when the man died, they called my father to sit with this man. So when he came back, he said, "Ich habe ihm schon gut gegeben. Ich habe ihm gesagt, dass ich schenke dir nicht up dem choif." My father did not forgive him the debt that the man owed him. And that's how he used the word choif. So I heard that word very often in the house.
Okay. Thank you, Cookie. Rachel?
Hi.
Rachel, you raise your hand.
Yeah, regarding Rafael's question, I am not sure that I understand the question. Rafael, can you repeat the question, please? Because I think I have an answer.
But the question was a grammatical question. The second line begins with the word verdrehen.
Yeah.
And the question is, what is the subject? Is it Mädlich or is it Männer?
Männer.
No.
So how do you understand that line?
I understand that line that, see, in English, the subject has to always come in the beginning of the sentence. But in Yiddish and Hebrew, man kann das verdrehen. You can, you can.
We speak backwards.
You can change places. The predicate or the verb, can come in the beginning, and the subject can sometimes come at the end of the sentence. And that's how it is. Verdrehen uns Männer die Käpperlach, yeah. Or maybe even you could say that men are looking at us, are turning their heads toward us. Still, it is Männer is the subject. That's how I see it is grammatically.
Okay, Morty?
Yeah, I think that you have to tie it with the first line. The person who is talking is a man because he says the Mädlich,
Right.
the girls.
Right.
And the second line, verdrehen uns Männer. So the man is talking about the girls, and the girls confuse the men or verdrehen their kept.
Right.
That's how I understand it.
Yeah, that's a
I do
possibility.
too.
Yeah, I agree. That's very nice.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
always,
thank you.
Doesn't uns mean us in that context? That's what I would think.
yeah.
They verdrehen us men.
I think the word lust would take care of the whole sentence.
Okay.
Takes care of
Rochelle
everything.
and then Myra. Rochelle?
This is essentially a poem. So there's some poetic license in the structure and the grammar so that it has rhythm and rhyme. So the grammar isn't exactly as it would be if we were talking about a prose piece. But, you know, verdrehen nicht den Kopf is an expression that's used frequently in Yiddish. And Mädels verdrehen die Männer den Kopf. I mean, that's also
That's what we're here for. That's what we're here for.
That's what we're here for, exactly. Okay.
Well, not
So-
really. Myra.
Okay.
So I understand there's confusion about exactly how to translate this, but I would still love to hear somebody read this whole verse, to translate this whole verse, because there's been so much discussion. I'd love to hear some kind of summary.
Okay. Maurice, can you do it again, please?
Okay. So the girls make their braids on Shabbos after the pudding. They turn us men's heads around, or they confuse us on Shabbos after the pudding. They go into the woods with handsome young men, bachelors, all week. They wait, we wait for Shabbos after the pudding. They become close or good buddies or close friends, and they share caramels or candies with each other. Oh, dear mama, how close are we to Shabbos after the pudding? How much longer?
I refuse to accept pudding for kugel.
I have a question.
I'm mit, ich bin mit du, Morty. Kugel is nicht pudding.
No.
Minna, I want to say something, please.
Yes.
What do you call it? Is this during Shabbos? Is this waiting before Shabbos? Or this is after the kugel on Shabbos? And I'll tell you why.
After
we
the
had to
kugel.
braid, wir haben gekannt flechten unser Haar früher bis Shabbos, aber wir haben nicht getaught flechten the Haar auf Shabbos. We couldn't braid our hair on Shabbos because Papa said that it's changing the shape of something. So we had to braid our hair before Shabbos.
Now you tell me.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay, that's interesting. Okay, Morty, yeah.
Yes. First of all, we have to realize that this is not something related or that would apply to Orthodox people. That's the first point. So the braiding can be done. And as to the timing, I understand this to be after the second Shabbos meal. Now remember, the second Shabbos meal is the Saturday lunch. The first one is, of course, Friday night, and the third one is Shalishidis. So this one is after lunch on Shabbos.
Okay, thank you, Morty. Rochale?
I want to say I'm still confused. Forget the grammar. Just if I look at the sentences, the first sentence is the Meidach flechten, so the girls are doing something. Then there is a sentence that it could be either way. Then we have a sentence that we go in the Wald spazieren mit schöne Kavalieren, which I think it's only for bachelors, it's for men.
Some of them are
And then it says, I'm jumping over because I think both sentences, it can go for both. And then, oi mame kroin, usually it's a girl who says that. We hat me schon bei der Shabbos noch ein Kugel. So who would talk like that, mame kroin? I think a girl, if you look at other poems and stories. So ich bin vermischt ein bisschen, du.
Okay,
es ist nicht der gleiche Entfer. Es ist nicht der gleiche Entfer. Ich meine, du hast gemacht speziell.
Let's hear Steve. Maybe Steve has the answer.
I may have the answer, but one of the things you have to remember about this song is it's not a song so much as it's a theatrical piece. So you may have several people speaking at the same time. If you look at like the music from Fiddler on the Roof, there's, like, all week long we do this and that, says the Mädela, all week long we do this and that, says the man. So that the speaker is shifting here, I think, and that's
Right, exactly.
that makes it, I think, easier to understand if you think about it in that context, that this is dialogue between people sung instead of spoken.
That's a very good solution.
Yeah.
Okay, Rafael and then
Like
Golda.
that.
Okay, well, I'm going to take a different attitude and to say that this particular verse, this entire verse, is from the point of view of the girls. And so it begins in the third person. The girls are braiding. And then the girls are thinking the following thing in the second line. Yeah, the men turn our heads. And the third line, we will go walking with our boyfriends. And the fourth line, we're waiting for the whole week for this opportunity. The next line, those boyfriends, become good friends with us, and they're going to hand us candies. And the last line, as Rachela says, is a girl's expression. Oh, dear mommy, how are we going to manage on Shabbos Nacht Kugel? So I'm thinking the entire verse is from the point of view of the girls.
Okay, Golda, what do you have to say?
I would just like to say that this comes from Shun Theater. No religious person would ever go to Shun Theater. This is just the song for theatrical reasons. And I don't know why so much time is being taken up when we could be reading our story.
It's fun, Golda, it's fun. Okay, Rachel,
You know why,
something
Golda, Tyre Golda, because Yidden haben lieb a pilpul.
Exactly right, Rachel. Okay, I see that no one is holding their hand, so let's go on. Okay, Anita? Anita, you're with us? Unmute
Yes.
yourself. Okay, please.
I read it.
Yes, yes,
Oi
please.
Shabbos noch ein Kuchen, ist das idel freilich. Oi Shabbos noch ein Kuchen, fühlt sich wie Melech. Esst Brot with children und trinkt euch Wein, Kriegel. Der Id fühlt sich freilich auf Shabbos noch ein Kuchen. So it's a repeat.
Yeah.
It's Shabbos after
Pudding.
After the pudding. After the pudding, sweet or not sweet, is those the Eid is freilich. He's happy. Shabbos after the Kugel feels he feels like a king. Is bread with children and drinks a whole kriegel, wine.
A little pitcher.
A little pitcher, okay, kriegel. The Eid is feeling freilich and the Shabbos after the kugel.
Okay, thank you. And here it
There's
is.
the kugel.
A nice piece of kugel. So let's listen to it once again, and maybe we will hear the word that we want, if it's hoft.
I just want to say that this is a song that needs to fit the music. So it isn't always grammatical correctly, and it isn't like reading a story that you have to follow a storyline. The words fit the melody.
Okay, thanks, Henrietta.
Ich habe eine Scheile wegen Bild. Von mir die Assoziation mit Kugel ist...
Pappe sitzt sich auf sein Stiel, oi Schabes luchen Kind. A Rimmen sitzt nur sie den Film, oi Schabes luchen Kind. Hört der Zeit Nissen, fin Mopsen in fin Schnitzen. Die Schinnerie, der Pappe flieht, sie Gott Burchi auf Fliegel. In alle Jiden Himmel, sie machen a Raschat Himmel. Es fühlt sich dort auf jeden Ort, der Schabes luchen Kegel. Oi Schabes luchen Kegel, oi ist das Siedel freilich. Oi Schabes luchen Kegel, fühlt sich wie am Meile. Esst sich und mit Schon, trinkt euch Wein a Kriegel. Der jeder fühlt sich freilich, oi Schabes luchen Kegel.
A ganze Woche war der Mann auf Schabes noch ein Kiegel, zusammen mit sein Weibel sein, oi Schabes noch ein Kiegel. Sie senden beide Miede, von der Schabes dicke Siede. Es ist a rein in Kopf der Wein, winkt sie mit der Nägel. Nur blitzen nicht verkeinem, kommen sie gas die Schreinem. In es werde bald sie sterben, der Schabes noch ein Kiegel. Oi Schabes doch ein Kiegel, oi ist das Jidl freilich. Oi Schabes doch ein Kiegel, fühlt sich wie am Meiler. Esst sich und mit Schuld, trinkt euch Wein a Kriegel. Der jeder fühlt sich freilich, oi Schabes doch ein Kiegel.
Die Mädler flechten Zepperlich, oi Schabes doch ein Kiegel. Verdrehen ins Männer die Käpperlich, oi Schabes doch ein Kiegel. Mi geht im Wald spazieren, mit schöne Kavalieren. A ganze Woche warte doch auf dem Schabes durch ein Kegel. Sie wehren mit sich Schmelkes, mit Heizer dort Karmelkes. Oi Mame Kroin, wir halten schon bei dem Schabes durch dem Kegel. Oi Schabes durch ein Kegel, oi ist es jeder Freile. Oi Schabes durch ein Kegel, fühlt sich wie am Meile. Esst sich und mit Schuld, trinkt euch Wein a Kriegel. Der jeder fühlt sich freilich, oi Schabes doch ein Kegel.
Okay. There were Rochale started to say something, so Rochale, yeah.
Ja, ich habe eine Scheile wegen dem Bild von der Kegel. Bei mir, als mir so Kegel, ich kläre auf meine Mamas Kegel, was ist gewesen mit Kartoffel. Die amerikanischen Menschen, wenn sie suchen Kegel, sie klären ein Lokschenkegel. Ja. So, ich weiß nicht, wo sie die Tage der Miner, was ist gewesen in Europa. Efter meine Mama hat gemacht, eine Kartoffelkegel, was hat nicht gehabt, lieb, also für süße Sachen, es ist zu süß, zu fett. Ist von dem hat sie gemacht, die Kartoffelkegel, oder du sie Tage gewesen der Miner. Mit weißt du schon? Als man sagt ein Kegel, man sagt nicht Lokschenkegel oder Kartoffelkegel, wo ist die erste Sache, was beklärt?
Henrietta?
Mir ist das ein Kartoffelkegel.
Henrietta? You are muted.
Es ist genug schon, man darf gehen nochmal. So eine Kugel, der hast in dein Heim, ist sehr gut. Es wird Gesundheit.
Okay, ja, Maurice, ja.
Ich bin sicher, als Max Weinreich hat gemacht eine Mappe, was zeigt, wie man hat gemacht Kegel mit Lokschen und wie man hat gemacht Kegel mit Kartoffel. Ich bin sicher.
Kartoffel,
Okay,
potatoes?
No, just a moment, Cookie. There were other people here that raised. I will let you talk. Myrev.
I just want to say I really appreciated this thorough discussion because as a beginner, it gives me a real insight into what you have to consider when you're trying to translate. So thank you all very much.
Okay, now Cookie.
No, I just want the Kartoffel potatoes, yes?
Yes.
Yes. Oh, okay.
Yes. Rachel?
Mein Mame ist gekommen von Europa mit beide Kugeln. Kartoffelkugel und Lochschenkugel, beide.
So given a mixed marriage.
I can't figure out how to raise my hand, but I think that's the beauty of this class is that we go through with all our experts, that we go through the everything. And it's so, I would say it's very academic, which I love, which is great.
Okay, thank you. Julia and then Morty and Rafael. Julia.
I have a couple of questions. I'm not sure I know the answer to them. The word Shekhinah, is there a word very much like that that refers to the feminine aspect of God?
That's it. That's the word.
That's the word.
Shekhinah.
Yeah. Okay. And the other thing is that the word croin, many years ago, I was having a conversation with a very wonderful speaker of Yiddish. And as soon as she heard who I was on the phone, she said, "Hello, Julia Croin." And I thought, what in the world is she talking about? And then somebody else informed me about that. And the other thing is about the Bursteins. I think a lot of people remember that some years ago in the at the Jewish Community Center Book Fair, there was a wonderful writer named Anne Burstein, who was the daughter of a man named Bernard Burstein, who was a rabbi, and he was, I only know this because she told me, he was the head of, in New York, what was called the Actors Synagogue on, I know that it was on West 54th Street. That's all I know.
West 47th Street.
West 47th. Thank you very much.
It's a condo now.
You know, that's really a shame because she had marvelous things to tell me. And I believe her understanding was that the Bursteins, who we've just heard, are part of the same family.
Okay, thank you, Julia. Morty,
Wait,
yes?
Minna, can I just say something? When they played in Israel, they were booed and they broke down because there's a movie that we could get about the Burstein family that we saw at Class Canada, and they would.
Why were they booed?
Because they would speak in Yiddish. Remember, in those days, they didn't want the theater. The theater. I can't remember the whole story, but it's an interesting family. Maybe we could show that movie.
Yes. And I know there were some in Yiddish.
What an awful thing to be.
Okay, Morty now.
Ja, bei uns in Mambobis Stieb, wenn sie mod gekocht a Rosel, mod gehad oder Latkes, wo es bei uns haben geheißen Käserlich, nicht Latkes, oder Kartoffelkegel. In Farasis hat man gemacht a Lokschenkegel. Also wir haben gehad beide. Nicht derselbe Tag. Wir haben gemacht a Kartoffelkegel und gewähnt etwas anderes, Frucht oder etwas. Wenn man nicht gehad a Kartoffelkegel, hat man gegessen Zuspeis a Lokschenkegel, a Sis Lokschenkegel.
Okay,
Mit Roschenkes.
Mit Roschenkes, yeah. In the Käserlech are from Russian. It's a Russian, it's Sirlikes.
Ja, also wie Varenikes.
Also wie Varenikes, yeah. Okay, Rafael?
Yeah, I looked through the Shalom Aleichem to see what he says about kugel. And usually he just says kugel, but in a few places he says a feta kugel, a fat kugel. Sometimes, once in a while, a gute lokshenim kugel. So he says that it's lokshen when it's supposed to be lokshen. That implies that usually it's not lokshen, but I don't know what kind of kugel he actually has in mind.
Entschuldigt mich, ich habe vergessen zu sagen, wenn wir haben gehabt, der Kartoffelkegel, mein Bobe hat angelegt,
Zibales.
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 Griebenes.
Ja, das ist gewesen der fette
Das
Kugel.
ist eine fette Kugel, ja.
Ja,
mit
eine Nemese
Griebenes,
Kugel.
ja. Golda.
Just want to say that my mother was a Galiciana. Wir sind nicht gewesen fromm. Aber als man hat gemacht mit Bulbis, ist es gewesen ein Potato Neck. Nicht a Kugel. A Luxon Kugel oder a Potato Neck.
Okay.
Dank alle, ich bin sehr hungrig.
Okay, any more questions, any more remarks about the kugel or the pudding or Maurice?
Just about Julia asking about coin. Some of you will remember the song that we've listened to, Itzik Manga's Auf dem Weg steht ein Bäum.
Yes, yes.
And she says, it's weint die Mama, it's a coin. She's
It's a
weeping.
coin, yeah.
Dear, it's a coin.
Thank you. I should have done. That's great. Thank you. I forgot.
Okay, Cookie, you are the last before we move.
Okay, I just want to say, wenn ich hab gemacht mein Vorstellen, mein Sohn ist gewesen in der Eulung, hab ich gesagt, als der Kräun auf mein Kopf sitzt du. That's what I said. And they all knew what I meant immediately. And I had some non-Jews there. And when I would say something like that, they said, why did the whole audience go, ah, you could just hear the sigh when I would say something that brought such nostalgia back, My mother used to say, the Licht in meine Augen, als du kommst da rein, wird mir lichtig in Augen. Things like that. That's how my mother would speak, yeah. Anyway, thank you for letting me say that.
Shane wie die Levana, lichtig in de Augen.
Yeah, lichtig wie die Sternen.
Okay, that's nice. Shall we move on?
Yes.
Okay, so guys, just a moment. I have to leave early today because we are going to a fancy schmancy place. So my Rev will run the story, and when I leave, you can continue. Also, next week, there won't be a class next week. So because I will be on the train on the Eurostar, so we will meet in 2 weeks. After today, we are meeting in 2 weeks, okay? So Mayrev, take it from here.
So did you want to have both the English and the Yiddish?
No.
Just
only the Yiddish, yeah, just the Yiddish. And
okay.
So there's no meeting next week?
No. I will not be able to do it from the train.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, Mayrev. Let's do this. Mayrev, can you do the sharing here?
Yeah.
Okay. So, okay, guys. Naomi, I say that you can start it. You want to say a few words about it, Naomi?
Yeah, I took an online course with Professor Michael Krasny, I think is his last name. And he asked us to read this story. It was American Jewish literature. He says this story is his best. And I couldn't find it in English. I found it in Yiddish through the National Book Center. So I read it in Yiddish. So that's why I'm very excited to read it Nochamo in Yiddish with the group of Yiddish. So,
okay, just wanted to add that the story was published on March 45, just about a month and a half before the war ended. So I don't know if there is any connection, but just, a vignette, something.
And translated by Saul Bellow in 1950 something, and it was published in
1953 in the
Partisan
the Partisan Review, which is a very, very famous journal for writers. It's extremely famous. So
And Saul Bellow didn't have anything to do with, Isaac Bashevis Singer did not have anything to do with Saul Bellow's translation of this story. But I think after that, he didn't want Saul Bellow to translate any more of the stories. So then he started to translate the other stories with other translators. Yeah.
Okay.
Women translators.
Just a moment. Naomi, you start reading, and Ma'arev, can you call on people to read?
Ooh, that would be hard.
That will be hard.
Yeah, I think someone else should do it.
Morty, can you call on people to read?
I will try.
Okay. Okay,
And
like, you know.
Are the letters big enough for everybody?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Doug.
Okay, guys, so I will leave you here and I will see you in 2 weeks. So, bye.
Bye.
Have a good meal.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye. So, Naomi will start. Susan afterwards, maybe. Barbara, you will find. Okay.
Okay, Yitzhak Bashevis Singer, Vinkl Tom. Ich bin Vinkl Tom. Ich halt mich nicht für kein Narr. Verkehrt. Nur die Leid rufen mich mit der Saat zunehmenisch. Man hat mich angeheben rufen, als sei noch in Cheder. You want me to go back and translate?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay. I just wanted to go to all the Zunemishen. Can I read another sentence, please?
Yes.
Okay, 7 Zunemen habe ich gehabt, wie Yisro, Trop, Chamor Eisel, Horflax, Lekish, Glump, Schmoiger, und Tam. Okay. So I am Vinkl the Fool, but I think Tom is more like a simple person. So I don't know, translated as Vinkl the Fool. I don't think of myself as a fool at all. The opposite. Just the people call me such a pseudonym or a call name.
Nickname.
Oh, a nickname. Yeah. Okay. I know what it means. I just can't sometimes get the right English word. Okay. They started calling me such a nickname in Cheder, in school. 7 names I had, 7 nicknames. I had 7 nicknames, like Yitro. Okay. Trop is a fool. Chamar Eisel is, I guess, a donkey, which is a fool. Hair flax. Just a minute. Lekish is a dummy or a fool. Glump is a glump or a dummy or a yokel. I looked up these words in the dictionary, but Schmoiger I couldn't find. That was the only one. And Tom is a simpleton. Tom. Okay. Does anyone know Schmoiger?
It also means fool.
Okay. I thought maybe
it's a ninny. A ninny.
Okay.
What is that?
I don't know what a ninny is, but I guess it means a fool. A ninny. Okay. Okay. Der letzter, yeah. Okay. Der letzter Namen hat sich zu mir zugeklebt. Okay. The last nicknames stuck to me. It was what stuck. Was is even my Narishkeit? What was I such a fool of? Or why was my foolishness, right? Ba'asher hat mir gering gekonnt abnarren, because they could easily fool me, I guess. Man hat gesagt Vinkl. They said Vinkl. They said to me, oh yeah, okay, so this is like a quote. Vinkl, du weißt, die Rebbetzin ist gelegen geworden, bin ich nicht gekommen in Cheder. So they said, Vinkl, you know, the rabbi's wife was pregnant, I guess that means, right? Was going to give birth. Yeah. So I didn't go in Cheder. Nu hat sich herausgewiesen, als sie es gewesen, Azal liegen. So it became apparent, or it was revealed, that this was a lie.
It turned out.
It turned out to be okay. Von wannen habe ich das gesollt wissen? How did I know of this, or how
could I know?
Okay.
How was I supposed to know?
Right.
Okay. Weil sie hat nicht gehabt kein groben Bauch. Oh, because she didn't have a big stomach.
A big belly.
A big
Yes.
belly.
Yeah.
Big belly. Okay. Nu habe ich nicht geguckt auf der Rebbetzins Bauch. So, and well, I didn't quite look at the rabbi's wife's stomach or belly. Is das a Narishkeit? Is this a foolish thing or foolishness?
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Rochelle?
Yeah, okay. Aber die Kunzim haben gechichert mit a Gegentanz und mir abgelehnt a Kreuz?
Krishma.
A Krishma lehnen. Okay. I don't know some of these words. The kundim?
Translated as king.
Kundesim, the jokers.
Oh, the jokers laughed and they went ha ha ha, mir ungetanzt, and they were dancing around, and mir abgelehnt, I don't know what that means, a krichema, and they read me something. I don't know what it is.
Krishma is the prayer.
Good night prayer.
Shema Yisrael, Krishma. So they recited the Krishma, but they
were laughing at him.
They didn't do it the right way.
Okay. Al Malach Katschke dreizig. Katschke is a duck, turn around. Anstatt Rogenkes was mittelt bei a Kimpetten. Instead of raisins, Kimpetorim. Instead of raisins, was, I don't know, was mittelt by somebody who's in labor, but I don't know what that means.
No, miteilt. It's teilen is to share. Instead of sharing raisins, which apparently was the custom.
Ah, okay. To somebody who was in labor, hat man mir reingestoppt a Häufen Ziegen Bobkes. Bobke, a piece of shit.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Zieg is a goat.
Goat turds.
Goat turds.
Goat turds. Oh, wow. Wie ihr kommt mir an, bin ich nicht gewesen kein Malpim Kind. When you looked at me, I wasn't I don't know what Malpim means. Child. What does Malpim?
I don't know it.
Anybody know that word?
Malp is a monkey.
No,
I know.
It
means a babe in the woods.
Ah, babe in the woods.
Okay.
Or a weakling. A weakling.
Okay.
Okay. As hab der lang Patch hat men gesehen Krocke? If I was Krakow. Oh, I guess if I was slapped I saw
if I
Krakow.
slapped someone.
If
I slapped somebody.
If I hit somebody.
Oh, yes, if I
I'm saying he would
gave.
see stars. He'd be
Yeah,
saying
okay.
Krakow.
Yeah, I would see Krakow because of the distance.
Right.
Aber ich bin Bative, nicht kein Schläger, aber I'm not somebody who hits.
Yeah,
right. By
Beteve.
nature.
By nature, okay. Getracht soll meins übergehen. I would think that it should pass.
It'll pass.
It'll
Go
pass.
away.
Okay. Darüber hat man in mir a Koine. Oh, so they had a customer because of that.
Right. Right.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Somebody want to translate it so it has more coherence?
Yes.
Please.
Maurice, you want to translate it
I don't
again?
remember what we.
Yeah, where do you want to start from?
Is Ober die Kunzen.
Oh yeah, but the habe ich nicht. Oh no, over the Kundessen, but the jokers, but the clowns,
right,
laughing and giggling, and they danced around me, and they recited the Chishma, not the right way. Al Malach Kachke Dreizich, a duck, turn around. Instead of raisins, they gave him goat turds. And when ich guck mich bin, let me see, nicht gewinnt kein. And when you look at me, you can see that I wasn't a babe in the woods. As hob der langta patch, if I smacked somebody, hat man gesehen, Hocke, that person would see stars, they'd see Krakow. Aber ich bin beteve nicht kein Schläger, but by nature, I'm not a hitter. I'm not a fighter. I would think to myself, soll meins übergehen. This'll pass. This is nothing. Darüber hat man in mir a keine. And for that reason, I was a good customer for them. They could start up with me.
A short comment. They said that the Rebbetzin is gelegen geworden. That means they said that the rabbi's wife had just given birth.
Ah, okay.
Okay. Yeah,
Thank
Ligon
you.
Kimpet is to give birth.
Right.
Yeah. Kimpetern is a woman giving birth. Yes.
Right.
Susan? Sorry, somebody had a question?
Yes. So why is it important that they were reciting the Shema, the Kriyat Shema, the evening? What's the meaning of that? Why was that?
I think I can answer that.
Thank you. Okay.
It's metaphoric. It's not that they recited the recital of the Shema. Instead, it means they made a rhyming joke at me. They said, El Melech Kachkes Drezech. So Melech rhymes with Drezech. And so, as children will do, they make fun of each other, but in Yiddish, they do it in rhymes.
All right. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Susan? Is Susan there?
Yeah, she's here. Susan, unmute.
Well,
she has to unmute.
Yeah, okay.
Así terminamos, Chicho.
Ich bin gegangen von Cheder und wie a Hund built. I'm on my way home from Cheder and I hear a dog barking. Ich hab nicht kein Meure für kein Hund. I'm not afraid of any dog. Aber ich will nicht unheben mit kein Kelef. But I don't want to get involved with a Hebrew version of Kelef.
The dog.
The difference there. Kon amul sein mishuge. He could be crazy. Und as tut dir a biss, and if he bites you, wird dir kein Toter nicht helfen. If he bites you, no Toter will ever be able to help you. There's no cure.
A quack doctor.
A quack doctor is a Toter. Okay. Nu hab ich gemacht fies. So I took my feet and ran fast. To a cook, I give a look. Der ganze Mark keulert sich von Gelächter. All the people in the marketplace are bent over and hysterical laughter. Es ist nicht gewesen kein Hund. It wasn't a dog, nor Wolf Leib, but Wolf Leib Ganef, but Wolf Leib, the thief. Eliav Hashnobel,
Oliver Schnobel.
Oh, now.
It's instead of Oliver Sholem.
He's making fun.
Oh, okay.
What do both of those mean? What do both of those mean?
I think.
He's making fun as he did with the other prayer. He's the Hebrew, and then he makes jokes with Yiddish words that sound like it, but they're very low-level words. A schnobel is like his snout. The snout of a dog. Yeah. Yes. All right. Okay. And of course he's not a dog, but his name is Wolf. Wolf Leib Ganef. Elav Hashnobel. Wie hab ich dus gekonnt wissen? How could I have known that? Als hat fort geheult wie Zeug. Because he was barking like a bitch.
Thank you, Susan. Barbara?
Okay, I'll try. I only help.
We all try.
Can we stop for a second? I do not quite understand the word toter because I looked it up in the dictionary and it has different meanings, so I'm confused.
Refoil, you want to mention again?
The word originally meant Tatar, someone from that Eastern race, but then it came to mean a quack doctor. And so it has both meanings.
Quack. Okay, so, but also it says like a bone setter, a fortune teller, I can understand. What is a conjurer? Conjurer, what's that?
Conjurer. Like a witch, a kishevmacher.
Kishevmacher, okay, Adan.
Okay, Barbara?
Okay. Als die Ekbroshim haben der schmeckt, I have here, as the pranksters got wind of it, as ich los mich naren, that I can be fooled, hat jeder einer geprüft, Samazel, everyone tried his luck at doing it. Is that right?
Yes. Right.
Okay. Gimpel, der Kaiser kommt kein Frampel. You know what, Gimpel? The Kaiser is coming to Frampel. Gimpel, die Levona is herabgefallen. Gimpel, the moon has fallen down in Turban, in, I guess, another town in Turban. Gimpel, Hodele, Schmoisch, hat gefunden an Oitzer hinteren Bod. And Gimpel, Hodele, Schmoisch, I guess that's the name, has found a treasure behind the bathhouse. Und ich, Golem, and I, you know, a piece of clay.
Idiot.
Yeah, I'm dummy. Have gelebt, and I believe it. Voren erstens can als treffen. See, this one I'm having trouble with. waren erstens kein als treffen.
Foreign was erstens, first of all.
First.
As all.
Because first of all.
Okay. As it wir steigt in Pirkei.
In Perek. In Perek.
Oh, in Pirkei. It's not in Pirkei?
No, this is Perek.
Okay.
As it says in the versicle, in the verse.
Okay, thank you. Ich gedenk schon nicht wie soll. Okay, so.
It's raining tacos.
And I, like a golem, believed everyone. In the first place, everything is possible as it is written in the wisdom of the fathers. That's what we have in our translation here. So that helps me. I don't know about anybody else.
Okay.
All right. But I appreciate if somebody else could take over. Thank you.
Okay. Marcia? Is Marcia there? No? Okay. Golda?
Yeah, Golda.
Can you go, Golda? Golda?
Not there.
Not there. Okay. Riva?
Maybe we should stop because we only have 2 minutes or 3.
Well, let's finish that paragraph.
Maybe people
paragraph.
left. Maybe people left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Bella, you want to read? You're muted. You're muted, Bella. Bella, you're muted.
We can't hear you, Bella.
You're muted.
You can send her an unmute message in the participants.
But she has to.
I don't think she sees that. Okay. David, can you finish the paragraph?
Ja, entschuldige, ik heb verloren de woord van meer halt in het paragraaf.
In the middle of the paragraph. Zweitens,
Zweitens, in the middle of the paragraph, zweitens.
You see the arrow?
Oh, okay, the arrow, yes. Yeah, hold it. No, come on with them file. I don't, yeah. Ich bin verblundet. Zweitens habe ich schon gemusst leben, als ganz Kohl verlegt sich auf ein Mensch. Secondly, I must already believe that the entire coal would be the community,
the community.
The community, I guess, the community, verlegt sich auf ein Mensch. Not relies on a mensch, verlegt sich, depends. Depends. Yeah, depends on a person. Tomer, so in that case, habe ich einmal geprüft sagen. In that case, I used to say, I sometimes tried to say, hey, she's zu fleißen, is geworden schwerlich. It was a difficulty zu fleißen. Das Wort weiß ich nicht. Sie ist zu fleißen.
To pretend. To pretend.
Alle seinen geworden Fire und Flamme. Everything became like fire and flames.
All of them.
Alle
seinen.
Sataych gelebt, nicht as Zach. The meaning, you would not believe such a thing. Halt ganz from Pol for Ligner. You would believe that you would hold that all of Frampol as a liar.
As liars.
they're liars. The whole sound's liars. Was habe ich los tun? What did I let myself? What did I let?
What was I supposed
to do? What was I supposed to let myself do? Ich habe geglebt und soll die letztem Boil bekommen. Ich habe believed that and that I should let the jokers let them just be good, receive welcome, I guess. Boil bekommen.
They may be well.
Maybe well. Yeah, maybe well. That's a better way to say it.
Okay. Thank you.
Great.
So it's already
Thank you.
1 o'clock there. And we'll see each other, God willing, in 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Wonderful.
Good.
Thank you,
Okay.
Marty.
Shining down.
Thank
Nice
you.
Thank you, Marty.
Bye-bye.
I get it straight off.
Sei gesund und stark.
Sei gesehen, du stark.
Amen.
Okay. Amen.
Amen.